So, welcome to Mindful Expanders today. We are going to be practicing a nurture positive technique style today. And the particular way we do it together is to first ground and emotionally regulate and create the conditions for exploration to emerge. And what I mean by exploration is simply this capacity to imagine and to allow what is calling in your curiosity to be here and to call you in. And we do that, we practice that on the cushion so that we can actually go do that in the material world. For some of us, exploration is not so easy or innate or intuitive. It may be a really underdeveloped muscle for some of us. And for some of us, exploration, following the pursuits that call you in and that feel meaningful to you, is just second nature and automatic. And so we come, each of us, with a different relationship with exploration and also a different relationship with emotional regulation. And so, what we're learning to do here is to train and develop this capacity to emotionally self regulate using meditation. And that helps us to process emotions that are here, to accept that these emotions are here. So, to, in other words, cultivate equanimity with the emotional landscape of our lives, whether there's fear or anxiety present, or there's joy and excitement, possibility, positive or pleasant sensations present. All of that requires a level of equanimity in order to have a complete experience with it. And so we're learning to develop and train that muscle, that capacity to have complete experiences with whatever sense experience we're having, regardless of the quality of that experience. This is the path to a more fulfilling life, is this just simple capacity to be with life on life's terms. And life's terms can be really joyful at times. Can we be fully present with the joys of life without seeking to fixate on it or to hold on to it longer to make sure it doesn't go away? That's sometimes the shadow side that we can notice creep into joyful experiences, is that we latch on. Or hedonism, we latch on. That can lead to addiction. We latch on so tightly that we're just chasing that experience over and over, assuming that we can cultivate some kind of permanence around it, which is not true. And equally so with suffering, unpleasant sensory experiences, can we be with them completely as they are and invite in this equanimity to have the full experience? And this is also something that we're using Nurture Positive to actually cultivate the capacity to do. And this is very skillful because if we can have these complete experiences, we can actually process what's here to be processed without storing it away for later processing, which takes up energy in the body and also cultivates this quality of aversion, avoidance. And so when we push things away or we cover it up or we bypass what's actually here, that's simply strengthening the muscle of avoidance and perhaps craving for something else. And so that decreases our equanimity. Our equanimity increases when we just simply notice the sense experience just for what it is, and using mindfulness to be with it, to deconstruct it into smaller parts, which decreases the overwhelm that sometimes happens when we have an emotional experience. So we're fully equipped to have a manageable experience with our emotions. This is what we're training to do with this particular technique style. And we imagine a co-regulation in the mindful resource practice. So we imagine someone is here with us to support us, to attune to us, and to give us and imbue us with the qualities that will help us resiliently navigate this moment, whatever moment we're in our lives and in this particular sit. And so that's the first piece. If we can do that, that can help us process what's here, come back to baseline equanimity and this sturdy, steady, secure foundation. I trust that I can be with my full experience and I trust that I can get through it and I will get through it. And I am I'm grounded. I am here, grounded, supported, attuned to, and to cultivate that internally is very powerful. And the second piece of today's practice is a nurture positive style of practice as well. We're cultivating and we're actually imagining our ideal dream outcome in this life. And it could be for this month, it could be for this year, or it could even be like 5, 10, 15 years down the line. Wherever you feel capacity to expand into with vision is where you're invited to. There's no wrong way to do this. This is exploration. This is one flavor of how you can explore what is most meaningful to you. And as we practice this, that also tunes up the muscle of exploration. So we can strengthen it simply by practicing. And we're doing this imaginative work to practice just imagining what is this dream outcome. And it starts to require of us that we get clear on, well, what do I value most right now? What do I want my business or my impact work to cultivate? Toward what end? And I invite you to point toward what end. It's not about generating financial prosperity for the sake of that. We're not just generating money for the sake of money. I invite you to start to think about what's on the other side of that. How does that financial prosperity that you're calling in cultivate the fertile foundation for this particular outcome? What values does it help you embody? What lifestyle goals will it help you realize? Are you preparing to have a family? Are you preparing to have a life where you can travel anytime you want without feeling any kind of strain? You could just hop on a flight and go somewhere because you want to. Or it are you building a life where you can build your impact business even further so you can actually reach more people and help more people? And so imagining that outcome or any flavor of your vision for your life. Are you imagining a home or a piece of property where you run a wellness program or a wellness center, um, things like that? Like, what is the vision and who are you in that vision? How does it feel to occupy that space? And inviting that ideal feeling state to accompany this accomplishment and this vision into the see, hear, feel practice is also invited. The most important piece here is not so much the visuals, but rather the felt sense. And that goes for mindful resource and vision practice. Can you touch into this felt sense of contacting something that feels meaningful? And that means that you get to explore, well, what does feel meaningful? And start to tune up the sensory awareness. What feels meaningful in my physical body? How do I know that it's meaningful? Is there a warmth that opens up in the chest? Is there an expansive relaxed state that my physical body occupies? Is there a joyful sense of sensory activity or undulation flowing through the heart area? Does my throat open up or release tension? Starting to notice the senses in your physical body and feel space can help you tune into what feels meaningful. And it might be something that calls on curiosity or cultivates a sense of curiosity inside or a sense of love, loving kindness, compassion, open heartedness, excitement. So these are some things to look out for. If something feels contractive, that might be a sign that maybe that's not the vision for you, or that's not really the portal through to which we can access a meaningful life. And so I invite you to also tune into that sensory clarity too. Oftentimes, depending on attachment strategies and other conditions in place around identity formation and our sense experience as human beings, we can sometimes get caught up in a life where we're living it for other people, or we're trying to please someone else, or we're trying to embody someone else's vision. And so, if we're doing that, there might be a sensory quality to that experience as well that might be different from authentic exploration. There might be a people pleasing quality, or it might not feel as exciting. It might feel dull. It might feel strained because perhaps there's really a proximity seeking. I just want to be admired. And so I am envisioning this. So start to tune into that as well. Sometimes the vision work that we do can be rooted in that obligatory place or the shoulds. I should be doing this. If you catch yourself doing that, simply become aware of it and inquire with curiosity. Where is this vision coming from? From what part? Because there might be a part that has the story that we should do these things because we need to stay safe. It is the way to stay safe. And so I invite you to start to relax that and to question it, looking at it with mindful awareness so that you're no longer occupying that part, and step out of it and continue to see how you can ground in and access your sense of security and safety so that you can then start to play with this authentic, meaningful pursuit. And so this can be an experimentation if this feels unfamiliar or new to you. So with that, that's some uh ways of understanding the work that we're doing here, and also to see how that commingles with attachment theory, attachment strategies. Our attachment strategies can directly impact how we emotionally regulate or not. And we can start to retrain that. This is the work of retraining. We process and we experience what's here, so we don't push away those challenging emotions or those challenging thoughts, but rather we become aware of it and then we replace. And so the vision work is about replacing. We can't get rid of things. The integrative path, the compassionate path to healing is about witnessing with full acceptance and compassion and mindfulness, and then replacing, inviting in something new to come in. And this is not about bypassing. So, what we're doing is we're always processing, and we're also inviting in new content, new stories, new outcomes. That desired dream outcome, that's going to be some new stuff. And with it, it might feel dysregulating, but that's why it's also really important to find that sense of inner safety and grounding. This is why we do the mindful resource practice, is to settle so that we can come into this exploration. As you practice this, I invite you to notice, how does this show up in daily life? This might start to show up as you just start to gravitate toward things that actually feel authentically meaningful in your life. You're willing to take more risks out in the world to pursue things. And maybe that fear of rejection or abandonment starts to minimize or decrease in volume. And that exploration and that curiosity becomes stronger and bigger. And so it starts to lead the way more, leading to having more experiences, developing competence and confidence, and actually having a more meaningful life and cultivating more fulfillment. Fulfillment doesn't come from achieving those outcomes, it comes from the pursuit of meaningful endeavors. And so, if we can start to learn how to open that valve to pursue those meaningful endeavors, we can actually have that fulfillment right now, and let the vision help fire the path, help light it up, and build that momentum. And we start to take the steps that actually would cultivate that vision. And the challenging content, the old parts, the limiting beliefs, we get to process those as they come up along the way, see them through, and actually start to keep replacing them. And over time, they might start to retire, and they might start to trust the system to navigate us toward that vision, that navigate and trust that we can actually handle this. We can manage this. This is possible, because you are taking the steps and you're taking care of the system. So with that, let's practice together. And we'll begin and end this sit with the strike of the bell. And let's begin. I invite you to stretch up, cultivating an alert yet relaxed posture. Letting the breath move in and out. No effort to control the pace. Noticing that you're fully supported by this chair or surface. Physically supported, relaxing into this posture. And go ahead and turn the attention inward to inner see, hear, and feel. And imagine yourself arriving in your ideal setting, a space that is comforting, it's grounding and soothing for you. You, as a child, enters this space, taking it all in, slowly noticing the sights, the sounds, the textures, taking in just how safe and protected you feel in this space. Noticing all the qualities of this physical space that bring you a sense of feeling safe, safe to be yourself, safe to relax. And you notice now that your ideal figure enters this space with you. They notice you right away and they look so delighted to see you. There's this beaming joy and love that they have for you. And so you both connect in an ideal way. Perhaps there's a hug or an embrace or a sacred distance apart, whatever feels welcome to you, allowing that to be present in the scene. No obligation here to do anything for anyone else. They're here for you. And they really just want to help you feel comfortable and safe and supported. Allowing that to wash over your senses, noticing and receiving how delighted they are in you without you having to achieve or accomplish anything. It's just your beingness, your authentic expression that they're delighting in. Now take a moment with them, sharing what's on your heart. And as you do so, noticing that they're here fully attuning to you, You see that they understand and they're open. There's a curiosity that holds the space just for you. Their curiosity bolsters your internal curiosity to be open. What is here to be felt or known? What concerns or questions are you living with at this time that you can express outward and be received with this open, curious awareness? Taking a moment here, receiving their support fully, noticing that they not only get it, but that energetically they're holding the space for you to be with these experiences just as they are. And they invite you to notice what are the sensory qualities of what you're experiencing in this moment. If there's an emotion present, noticing where in the body can you detect it? What are the contours? Is there vibratory flow? Is there a solidness? Is it spreading outward or contracting inward? Does it feel foggy or cloudy? These are the contours to start to tune into. Feel free to share with your ideal figure. What are you noticing in the body as you place your attention on these emotions or sense experiences? Perhaps there's thinking or thoughts present as well. You're expressing thoughts. Notice the connection with body. What do these thoughts cultivate in the physical body? Placing your full attention on the body in these areas where thoughts are impacted or correlated, gently placing the attention there. Relaxing around it. This is a way to apply equanimity, relaxing around the sense experience. If there's a tightening, inviting a relaxing of that tightened muscle. And your ideal figure can notice and seize what you're experiencing. You can tell on their face that they're with you every moment. Notice what it feels like to be completely understood, to be given this space to have this sensory experience fully. Trusting that it will arise and it will pass. There's a quality of impermanence to every sense experience, coming and going like clouds in the sky. Noticing what's needed. Perhaps there's a physical hug, some other form of affection that would support you in this moment to be with this experience. Notice what's needed and ask for that from your ideal figure. And as you do so, they're fully here and available to support you. Notice how that feels to receive what you need in this moment, to simply ask for it, to tune in and intuitively know the organic ways to soothe. Relaxing around that. Noticing what thoughts can come in to replace in this moment. Perhaps your ideal figure beams a sense of confidence into you. They confidently look at you, expressing that they really trust that you're going to navigate what's here and what's to come with true equanimity, with skill, that you have everything you need to see this through, and that you don't need to worry about how it all turn out. That you can just simply focus on one step at a time and relax the worries or the pressure about what comes later. They're so confident in you. Take a moment to receive that and notice as a sensory experience, what does it mean to receive that into you? Can you feel that confidence come through the top of the head, down the face, melting through the neck and shoulders? Like light beams moving through the arms down to and beyond the hands. Filling the chest and torso, streaming through the legs effortlessly, down into the feet. This entire vessel is filled with confidence and the sense of trust. Really feeling into that base layer of security. The security is here, the foundation to relax any worries, to trust in your own capacity, and to trust that you're not alone. Your ideal figure reminds you that they're here with you every step of the way. And they've been through this before. Notice what that's like to be in the company of someone who's been through this before. Go ahead and take a moment to exchange any final words with your ideal figure and to take in this space of your ideal setting. Trusting in this capacity to revisit them anytime, and allowing this to gently dissolve, noticing the physical body and mind in this moment. And you contact a sense of stability or stillness. Is there activity? Simply becoming aware And now go ahead and invite forward your vision for this time of your life. It could be this month, this year, or years down the line. Tuning into what's available, allowing it to gently arise from this secure, sturdy base, sitting in this equanimity, allowing the vision to arise and bubble up into see, hear, feel. Noticing the sounds and auditory activity of the scene, noticing any visual elements in see space, and noticing how it feels to be in this scene as if it's already happened. There's this present time experience to invite in at this moment. I am experiencing this in this moment. Letting play arise as well to foster flow and experimentation. Letting some details emerge. Are you imagining yourself serving a certain number of people with your impact work? If so, imagine them all assembled here. Imagine it feeling ideal, if that's relaxed or there's a sense of compassion present. Sense of connection with people, noticing what's the ideal feeling state or inner quality that is present in this scene. If it was completely ideal, how would it feel? How would you hold yourself? If you notice multiple emotions arising in the body, all good. Holding them all with equanimity, non-interfering quality of attention. Nothing to get rid of. All is welcome here. I invite you to gently place your attention on the emotion that feels resourceful. Is there an emotion that fosters expansion or a sense of security or curiosity, perhaps compassion or confidence? Placing your full attention there, allowing any other sense experiences to also be here to commingle. We look at them with mindful awareness. We choose where our attention is placed without pushing anything away. See if you can cultivate that capacity to hold multiple experiences with equanimity, letting this vision illuminate, strengthen, allowing it to be there just as it is. Notice the sense experiences of this vision, the colors. Notice what you're wearing and how you hold your posture. Notice the feeling state that arises when you imagine yourself realizing this vision. Imagine the impact of this vision. What does it cultivate in your life or make possible? Bring that to mind. What becomes possible with this vision? Noticing the physical body, bringing full awareness to the resourceful sensations in the body in this moment. Zoom into one of them, noticing the physical contours of that resource. Notice if there is vibratory flow, expansion, muscle relaxation, loving kindness arising, excitement, joy, anticipation. Notice if you've contacted your sense of purpose and what that somatically feels like. Let possibility be present. This capacity to believe in this vision. This is here. This is possible. This is here. This is possible. Take one last moment to soak into what you've cultivated. Allowing it to gently unravel, settling back down, letting see or feel detangle, dissolve. And taking a moment to notice your physical body in this moment. Noticing yourself held by this chair or surface. Tuning into how you feel different or what's changed since the beginning of practice. When you're ready, I invite you to gently open your eyes, returning back to this space.